Hi my beauties, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in again. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here on this platform. And if you have been part of the Tashi gang and you have been tuning in from day one, thank you so much for your continued support. So as you guys have noticed, on this video we're going to be discussing the things that I wish I knew before moving to the United States, or before arriving here in the United States. As some of you guys know, or as most of you guys know, I am currently living in the United States since 2019. So this is one of those videos that I've been wanting to do, guys. And I promised myself that I would do a video like this that tells you guys about my American experience once a month, and I have failed. I have failed you guys so bad. But anyways, the past is the past, okay? And we're here now and we're correcting our mistakes and all this other beautiful stuff. So if you guys are interested in seeing the 10 things, so it's going to be 10 points that I'm going to go through. If you guys are interested in seeing those points and exactly what I wish I knew before moving to the United States, please stay tuned in and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and also share the video, guys. Okay, let's get some views coming.
Sun is shining but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, keep it steady cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up.
Anyways, today's drink of choice is going to be a margarita. This is one of my favorite drinks as well. I haven't had wine in quite a while on these videos, so lately I've started making my own margaritas at home and I am in love, like honestly. So anyways, I'm gonna get right to the point. Don't mind this laptop being here. I decided to make some notes because I know I'm gonna go off topic if I don't. So I put down the 10 points so that I remember exactly where I'm at and all this other beautiful stuff. So the first point that I've got here is you need to have an unlocked phone. Okay, so guys, I only learned this thing when I got to America. Like I didn't even know what this was, but basically I don't even know how to explain this thing, guys. So an unlocked phone, you need an unlocked phone. I don't know what the whole point is, but basically this phone will be able to put in or something, a SIM card, okay? It will be able to, so it will make the SIM card, the American SIM card, compatible with that phone. So if, like, let's say you come from South Africa, luckily I never had that issue, but I know there's been people that have had that issue. If you don't buy an unlocked phone, then when you get here and you try and get the SIM card for here so that you guys can be in contact with everyone and all this other stuff, then your phone won't work. So you need a phone that's unlocked. Like the SIM card will still fit, but then it won't actually work. So you won't be able to still use the phone anyway. So it's basically your phone is, it's trash, okay? So you need an unlocked phone so that you can obviously be in contact with everyone, especially on your first few days here to get Ubers and all this other stuff. You will need an unlocked phone. I don't know if this is even important. I didn't do this, but that's also because when I left South Africa, I was in a rush to come here, so it was like very last minute. But I didn't have this problem, but I thought I would just put it out there for you guys so that you guys know this before you come to America. Is that you shouldn't close, so don't close your South African bank account. I don't know if there are people out there that are doing this, but don't do that, because this makes it easier for you to transfer your funds from your American bank account. Once you do get an American bank account, it makes it easier for you to transfer your funds from your US dollars to your South African rands. So that's the one thing that I would mention there. And then the other thing that I put on this part is to actually keep in mind that transfers take such a long time. This is something that I didn't know. Like international transfers take such a long time. You know, like you don't even have that luxury to say, you know, when I'm transferring money from my F&B account to my sister's account or whatever, I don't have that luxury to say same day clearing or whatever, like to clear it in the same day. So you have to wait like 7 days or if not less, depending on what system you're using or this banking app that you're using. And on this other part as well that I put on here, because I wanted to crunch it all down together, is the one thing I wish I had known. So when I came here, I was using what was it again? Western Union. I was using Western Union to send my money home. Guys, I feel like Western Union is so unsafe. Okay, it is so unsafe to save money. I mean, to send money to South Africa with Western Union, because my problem with it, or the one big issue that I had with it, was that if I was sending money home to my mother or my sister, they would have to go to another Western Union outlet or whatever in South Africa, like in Sandton City Mall or all this, and then when they get there, they have to withdraw the money. So no matter how much money I'm sending, it has to be withdrawn as cash. Who wants to walk around with so much cash, guys? You know, so then the one thing that I would suggest is either using World Remit, which is one of the apps. So I'm basically free advertising right now, but this is for your own knowledge. World Remit is a good one to use, or Remitly. Okay, so Remitly is also very good. Either one of those two apps. There was another one, I don't know if it's still available, Zoom. ZOOM. So that's another one that was also good. You literally transfer money from your American account straight into your South African account, which I think is so much safer, it's so much easier, it's less hassle and all this other stuff. So instead of using Western Union, which seems like it's the best thing to do, but it's very unsafe in my opinion, use the other apps that you can use. I don't think this applies to everyone, guys. So this is something that I personally felt like I would have liked to know beforehand. You know, when you watch the movies and you see in America these people are getting on these freaking buses to go wherever they're going, or they're getting on a train or a subway or all this other stuff to get wherever they're going. Okay, so this is one thing that I wish I had known. So depending on where you actually are staying in America, depending on which state you're staying in, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be a little bit more different when it comes to you guys finding transport or public transport. So like if you were to be staying in New York, or like in the cities, I'm just gonna say New York because that's the only city where I knew where it was so easy to actually maneuver around the public transport thing. So if you're staying in New York, let's make an example. Excuse me. If you're staying in New York, it's gonna be easier for you to find public transport. There's subways there, guys, like there's trains to go from one state to not one state, like one city, like from New Jersey to New York, or from Long Island to New York and all this other stuff. But like when you moved down to Florida, okay, like America's a very spread out country, that's the word, you know, so there's other parts where you find that it's very hard for you to find public transport. So your only mode of transport, or your easiest mode of transport, would be Uber, which ends up being very expensive. So the one thing that I wish I had known, okay, is, or that I would advise to you guys, is to learn how to drive before you leave South Africa, or before you leave the country that you're coming from. Okay, because then it makes it easier for you to come here and actually get a license, so you don't have, like, yes, you still need to go through the steps and all this other, but it's going to be a little bit easier for you to do it because you already know the basics of driving and all this other stuff, and you don't really need to go to a driving school. You don't need to pay for a driving school to go through all this other stuff again, you know, because things decide when you convert it, it's not the way. So I would say learning how to drive, because America is so spread out, like, and the way you would look at it is how their highways are, so the freeways or whatever they call it, the highways are so big, and it's because like the one thing that they most like focus on, or whatever you call it, is cars. So most people are driving. Kids, teenagers start driving from the age of like 16. So driving is like a very essential part of the Americans' lives. Okay, so I would say learning how to drive, so that when you do get here and you decide you want to get a car or you want to rent a car to go somewhere, it makes it easier. You know, just going from me leaving, I'm still in Florida. Like, Florida is so huge, guys, but me going to visit my friends in West Palm or West Palm Beach, or in like going to Miami, is taking me like 3 hours, and for you to even find, I don't even know if there probably is, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, there probably is public transport, or there is a train that goes from Naples, where I am, to Miami. I have not heard of it. Okay, finding public buses is not the same as in South Africa. There's no body part code and all this other stuff. Like, it's not as easy, you know. The taxis, they're not as cheap as, it's literally Uber, guys, so it's not gonna be cheap. So I'd say learn how to drive, and if you need to rent a car, then it's easier for you. Yeah. So because you're on a visa, so because we're on an H2B visa, if you decide to go, so this is basically in relation to the point that I just made about you learning how to drive and getting a car and all that. If you're on an H2B visa and you decide to go and get a license, okay, let's say you're in Florida right now and you get a license, a driver's license. Your license, you need to know, or I wish I had known, that your license will expire at the end of the season. So your license expires every 6 months because your visa or your petition expires every 6 months, which is like this is, I don't agree with this stuff, guys, because it's so much work just to go to the DMV, to the traffic department, and to actually get this freaking license done and everything. And then now after 6 months, and by the way, you don't even go like straight when you get here. So you get here, you get comfortable and all this other stuff. And then after, let's say, like 2 months of being in America, you decide, okay, fine, I'm gonna get a license and all that, because you've seen that life is tough. You know, you get a license, and then now you only have like 4 more months to go. Okay, now you have your license, you only have 3 more months to go, and then it expires. And then now when you get to New York, you need to redo the whole process again and get a new license based on your I-94 that I think I discussed it on my second video, where I said the easiest way to travel to America. But like, you know, so now you have your I-94. When you get your I-94, every time you get a new I-94, you need to get a new license. So it's just so much admin, guys, just to get your license, which is just too much work. Some people have opted to, if you were already driving like I was in South Africa, to rather get an international license. This thing, I only knew about it, guys. I'd come to America I don't know how many times, and I only found out about this years after coming here. Okay, like years. Like I think I found out about this in 2020. Okay, so this was like so recent that you can actually get an international license. And then when you drive with an international license, then you need to also have your South African license with it. So every time you drive with your international license, you need your South African license to go with that, so that it backs it up when you get pulled over or anything like that. And then when you do have an international license, or I think it's, if you have your South African license, I might be wrong, I think you can still rent a car, but I know with an international license you can still rent a car, but the problem is you need to have a credit card. Okay, so this brings me to my next point, which I'm gonna go over right now. In South Africa, I had a very very good credit score. Okay, I have a very good credit score in South Africa, but then here in America, when I moved to America, what I didn't know is that your credit score, okay, doesn't follow you from South Africa to America. Okay, so this is such a big thing, guys, because then when I got here, now you need to rent a car. Now you need to, I don't know, buy a phone. Okay, so all these things that you now need to do, you can't do because you don't actually have a good credit score, because you are non-existent in America. So your credit score will not follow you from South Africa to here. And in order for you to have a good credit score in America, or for you to have like, yes, let's say a good credit score, or an exceptional or like intermediate credit score, you need to have points that are above 640 points for you to get a good credit score. And once you have anything above 640 points credit score in America, then your interest rates aren't as high as they would be if they were lower than that. Which, hey guys, for you to just build that credit score, like Americans really live on credit, guys. Like this is like the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. Like everything has something to do with credit. Okay, so you need credit to kind of, you know, get by in South Africa. I mean, in America. So when I came here, or when now I have my international license, and then now I want to rent a car. Get them trying to rent a car, and they're like, yeah, but in order for us to rent you this car, you actually need to have a credit card. You know? Back to square one, you know what I mean? So you need to build a good credit record, and then the easiest way for you to do that is, I would suggest, I mean, this is gonna happen anyways naturally, is that you're gonna get here and they're gonna help you get like a bank account and all this other stuff, and then that's how you kind of, you know, they need to see you paying your bills. And these days, like, I don't know what apps are here and all this other stuff, but I know there's apps. I don't personally use them, but those apps that actually take you paying your Netflix account or your Hulu account and all that other stuff, or Amazon Prime and all this, they take anything that you're paying for as a point to add to your credit score. You know, like for me, I know I think in South Africa, my credit score is like 720, if I'm not mistaken, if not above, you know, and then now I have to come here and come back to 0, and I have to start rebuilding my credit score. So I had to get a credit card. Luckily, I don't know how it happened, maybe it's because I have like all these subscriptions, you know, but my credit score, I did get a good credit score. And then they did give me a credit card for me to be able to rent a car and to move around and to actually get by in America if I wanted to rent a car and to do all this stuff. Like, it's very hard for you to get a phone unless if you're going to be buying it on Amazon and you're buying it cash. So if you strapped for cash and you want to get it on installments, you need a credit score. Okay, if you want to get an apartment, you can still get apartments without a credit score, but like I mentioned, the interest rates and all the stuff that I don't understand. But credit score is very important in America, guys. Like, okay, what I put on here, you guys, so this goes hand in hand with you guys having a credit score. Okay, is I actually wrote down here, all I said was social security card. Guys, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess I know why it's so important in America. So the way I look at a social security card is like, it's like our South African ID, but it's not like our South African ID, because Americans also have an ID, you know. So I don't even know what the social, guys, I don't even understand. All I know is that it's a unique number and a unique card that identifies you personally. And if you don't have this thing, you are basically an alien, or you are just, I don't know what the word is, you know, for this thing. So you need this card even when we get here, the first time that we get here. So you only need to apply for this once in your life, or once in a lifetime when you come here, basically. So I first got my social security when I got here in 2012. When I was 19, if I'm calculating correctly. Okay, so I first got it then, and I've had the same social security number. So this, you need this for your filing your taxes, you need this for getting a job, okay, like for you guys getting pay slips and all this stuff, so that they have you on record and everything. You need this, guys, when you are literally applying to get an apartment. You need this. Like, a social security is so important, guys. I still don't understand, because it's not an ID, because there's still an ID, you know, but a social security is something that's so important. And even when you get it, guys, it's just like the small little thing that looks like it's not important, but it's actually so important. That's not something you want to lose. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Point that I had here, guys, which is really not an important point, but I thought I'd just mention it because, like, I wish I knew this, you know. So I left my job in South Africa, where a person gets annual leave. Okay, where a person gets annual leave for working after you've worked, guys, and you're so tired and you're so drained, and you can actually get annual leave. So when you're on the H2B program, guys, don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, don't say I didn't tell you. You do not actually qualify for annual leave, which is very, very sad. As you can see from my face, even though I'm smiling, it is a very, very sad thing. Okay, so you do not qualify for annual leave. Okay, you can request days off, obviously, and then it's up to the club if they give you the day off or they don't. But I found it so odd, guys. So like, we work seasonal. Okay, so you work in Florida and then you work for 6 months, and then you move. After 6 months you've been working there. Okay, yes, you had your days off and all this stuff, but you don't actually get leave. and then from then onwards we have to travel, go up north, like to New York, Connecticut, wherever, North Carolina, whatever. We have to go there, and then the minute you get there, the clubs in or up north, they're not thinking of us as, oh yeah, you've been working the whole season and all this other stuff in Florida. They're thinking of us like, oh yeah, you've been resting the same as we've been resting, because most of the clubs are seasonal. So you've been resting the same as us, so now you're ready to just get back on track and start working, you know? Like I've had instances where a club will come to me and be like, okay, so I'll arrive today, and then they'll be like, oh, so can you come in tomorrow to work? You know, so they don't, that's not something that people will take into account. So you need to just keep that in mind, that you don't actually qualify for annual leave. Unfortunately, because you don't work, like I think it's the same thing as in South Africa. If you need to work for an employer for a year for you to qualify for annual leave. I may be wording it wrong, but I know you need to work for like 12 months for you to be able to eligible for annual leave. So with us, we're only here for 6 months at this particular employer, so you don't qualify. Then you go up north, then you don't qualify because it's only been another 6 months. Then you come back. So you do this for a full 3 years, you don't actually get annual leave. This is something that I think you need to keep in mind. You can request some time off and obviously go somewhere if you want to, but just keep in mind that you will not be getting any annual leave, okay? And you don't get paid for annual leave because you're like for you requesting days off, because you're taking days off yourself. You're not getting paid for it. Okay, so for point number 8, I wrote here, okay, so I'm gonna read the part that I really don't have much of an issue with, okay, because I'm that girl. So tips are a must in America, okay? So this is part of the same point 8. So tips are a must in South Africa, in America. So I feel like everywhere you go in America, you have to tip the hairdresser, okay? You have to tip the, what else is there? Guys, you tip everyone. You tip the servers, you tip whatever, like your bill, whatever bill you have will have like a service fee or a form of gratuity on it. So in America, like America is very big on like tips and all this other stuff, which is really not a problem for me because I do like tipping. I mean, I am a server, so it's like something that's in my nature in a way. So like I put here, like tips are very, very important. On here with regards to this part was so guys, I will never ever get used to this, okay? Like, so you go to a store, okay? Same as you do in South Africa, you buy something, okay? And when you buy that something, it says $3. It says $3, okay guys? So this is what it says, and then you take it, you go to the register. When you get there, guys, it doesn't have any taxes. I will never understand this thing. Like, so for some reason, the sales tax or whatever tax it is gets calculated straight like at the register or something like that. So whatever you're buying, like you see, we buy everything, it's already got VAT and all this other stuff. When you buy here in America, the price that you see is not the price that you get, okay? It's not the price that you're going to be paying for. So your taxes get calculated afterwards. So if you have something for like $5 or whatever, you're going to end up paying, let's say, $9. I know I'm being a bit dramatic, but I'm just making a point. So because of all the taxes that you're paying for that don't get mentioned in this item that you just bought, you know, like you're buying something for sale, like it's on sale or whatever, and then when you get there, it's not actually $3 like you thought it was. It's actually more money. I'm just using small amounts just to give you guys a little bit of it. Like, I'll never understand this thing, guys. Like, I'll never, like, even right now after being here for so many years, it still confuses me. So you can never really work out a budget properly because you don't actually know how much you're gonna get when you get to the till or to the register, because of these taxes that you have to pay when you get to the register. This is something I feel like I should have known before I came here, you know what I mean? This is a very depressing point, guys, like honestly. So guys, I put here, healthcare in America is a pain. Like, it is a pain, it is expensive, it makes no sense, it's unfair, it's just everything that I don't want it to be, okay? So like, I still don't know, maybe I'm wrong, you guys will let me know in the comments below. Like in South Africa, we have government hospitals. And here, I don't know how it works. You know, I remember I got sick the one time and I asked my manager where I can go. Like I said, I don't have insurance, you know, so insurance is a big thing as well here in America. So I don't have insurance or medical aid, as we would call it in South Africa. I don't have insurance here in America. So where can I go? This is me asking for a public hospital. And then she obviously told me, go to this hospital and all this other stuff. I went to this hospital, I got there, okay, they look at me, they check me in and all this other beautiful stuff. And then when I come out and they check me out, they're like, okay, so you owe over $1,000. Okay, so that's how much you owe without the insurance or without medical aid, as we would call it at home. This is how much you're gonna owe. Okay, so you either want to pay it now or you don't want to pay it now or whatever. Guys, I really don't understand this. And I ask, okay, I say, okay, so is this the final amount? Is this everything? As much as I didn't want to pay it because I knew it was like too much money. I mean, like honestly guys, that's a lot of money. Okay, but I was like, okay, I'll pay it. Okay, but I'd rather pay, I don't like being in debt, so I'd rather pay everything off all at once. So I'll do that, and then so that I can get it out of my chest, and then I never have to think about this ever again. Okay, I pay that amount. Fast forward guys, like a few weeks later or a month later, I start getting mails and they say your payment is past due, your payment is past due. So when you call these people guys, apparently when you go to a hospital, which I don't know if it's like this in South Africa, I'm not a hospital person so I wouldn't know, but this is baffling. So apparently when you go to a hospital, there is a hospital bill that you pay, which is what I had paid. Okay, and then after that you have a doctor's bill. Okay, so you have a doctor's bill as well that you also pay, what, like for the services that the doctors or whoever the doctor was that saw you and performed tests on you and all this other stuff. Guys, that, like, so now I thought I was done paying this bill and then there's other bills coming. So I feel like with healthcare here in America, even when I think about it and I think about people that get paid less than I do, you know, that get paid like minimum wage, it's very, very depressing. Like, so I would think, like, for me, American healthcare system, it is very, 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 very sad, and it is very, very, very expensive. You know, if you can't afford to be on insurance, it is very expensive. Okay, so this was obviously a wake-up call for me to go on insurance. I still haven't gone on it just yet, but I will do it another time because I'm already like done with my seasons and all this other stuff. But this was something that I thought I would mention, guys. Like, even just getting on an ambulance, guys, you already owe the state or the whatever, you already owe $1,500 US dollars. You can calculate it and see how much it works out to. Okay, I don't even want to know. Like, I don't like, yeah guys, like, this is, it's a lot. Okay, so the medical or the healthcare system in America is just, it's baffling. It is baffling, it is depressing, it is everything that you don't want in a medical system. So it's not like South Africa. There might be public hospitals, it's just very hard to find them here. You know, it's always urgent cares or like going straight to a hospital. And they say like there's walk-in clinics. I still don't understand all these terms, but just make sure you don't get sick, okay? Or just pray that you don't get sick, because I don't know, guys. So guys, anyways, this is my last point. Like, I didn't see the point of putting it here because most of the South Africans, or most of us South Africans, this is something that we already learn while we're still in school and all this other stuff. But I put on here that I think it's important to know that when you come into America, it is very helpful for you to know English and to know how to speak English, okay? You need to be able to get by, guys. Like, there's certain instances where you need help and all this other stuff. But I think, like, for us South Africans, because it is like a first or second or whatever it is, additional language, guys, I haven't been in high school for so long, but this is something that we already know, okay? So, but like, there's people that come here, like, if you're coming from like the Philippines or I don't know, like Mexico and all this stuff, and you struggle with English. Like, I don't know how you can get your point across without actually knowing English. So I'd say, for a fact, like, this is something that you need to know. This is just like a little side note, this point number 10, but it's just for you guys to just keep in mind. If you cannot speak English, this is going to be very, very tough for you guys. So you need to be able to know English, and you need to be able to speak English. Okay, so that is all the points that I've made for this video, for you guys, just to tell you guys what I wish I knew before moving to the US. The things that I feel like you should know as well, or the little pointers that I wanted to give to you. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and also comment down below and let me know, if you are in America, what would you have liked to know before actually moving to America, or to another country then if you're in another country. And also, just thank you guys again. I'm gonna keep repeating this. I repeat this on every video. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your continued support. If you're a first-time visitor, thank you so much for tuning in and actually watching the video this far. And I hope to see you guys on the next video. And thank you, my beauties. Bye.
All things must pass, but I'm not gonna wake up, wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, wake up. Keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet.